Welcome back to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. I just want to say thank you for coming back to the channel. Today I want to be talking to you about two movies I recently picked up on 4K Blu-ray, Ultra HD Blu-ray I should say. And they're these two movies right here. This is very much new. This is Da Vinci Code on 4K, a movie that is kind of gotten some flack over the years. I actually kind of enjoy this movie. And another great film, The Revenant, with Leo DiCaprio, and won the Oscar for Leo in this. But I want to talk about these. I think these are two of the better 4K Blu-rays I've bought recently. I've given you a review of some other ones that I've had in the past, but these two are pretty much the shining example of why I went to 4K. I'm going to start with the Da Vinci Code here. I'm going to put this down for a second. Da Vinci Code is actually a pretty nice set. It's actually, I want to show you here. Hang on. It's actually, the 4K Blu-ray is here, and then it has two extra Blu-rays with special features and the movie on regular Blu-ray. Again, nice set, very nice set. Also has a digital copy, I think. Yeah, it has a digital copy as well. I really enjoyed this 4K version. The movie looks basically as pristine as humanly possible. As far as I know, this movie was shot in 4K, so it's why it looks so good. I mean, the movie itself I'm not going to review. I actually really enjoy the movie. There are certain parts of it where I think there's a little bit too much exposition going on, where people are literally just in a room talking for 10-15 minutes. But sadly, this book really doesn't translate to film extremely well. I like certain parts of it. I think overall the movie's very entertaining. But the 4K, man, this is one of the best looking movies I own. I think the resolution of the picture in this is pretty much as best as you're going to get for any movie. I mean, you can see little details in this you wouldn't be able to see before. I really love the fact that this movie, the color in this, it's a little bit of a darker movie, but the colors I picked up on this 4K version versus the old Blu-ray version that I had before was really made a difference. This movie really changes when you watch it in 4K, especially when you're looking at like different paintings and stuff. When they're in the Louvre, it is just an astounding look at the Louvre. I like this movie. I really like the special features they put on this. I think the audio on this is basically as best as you're going to get. I think Dolby Atmos is on this one. Yeah, it's an Atmos, so 7.1 Atmos, awesome. Again, great 4K movie. I recommend it for your home theater experience. If you like the movie, even better. But I really enjoy this, and I think it was a great buy. Highly recommend this one. The only thing I can say about it that I was kind of surprised by was that this movie, the 4K version and the Blu-ray that's included on this, does not have the director's cut version of the movie now, or the extended version of the movie. This is the standard theatrical version on this. Now, funny enough, this is one of the few movies where I actually enjoy the theatrical cut more than the extended version. The extended version is, I think, just a few minutes short of 3 hours long. And the movie is long already to begin with. This movie is already about 2.5 hours long. And to push the movie up another 30-40 minutes is really pushing it for a movie like this. It really slows the whole movie to a crawl, and the pacing is lost in a lot of scenes. This version I actually prefer, which I'm kind of glad this is the 4K version, but it would have been nice to have a choice. So that's the only gripe I have with this. But overall, I recommend the Da Vinci Code on 4K. I enjoyed it. And now to the big one, The Revenant. Now, this was a movie that I hadn't seen until I bought it in 4K. I purposely stayed away from this movie. It came out in a time where I was moving to Florida. I'm originally from Rhode Island, and I moved to Florida, and it came out right around that time period, so I did not get a chance to see it in theaters. Plus, I really didn't want to look at a snowy landscape after just moving from a state where I purposefully moved away from because of snow. One of the many reasons why I moved. So I didn't really want to watch this movie. And also I heard it was very intense and nasty, and I really wasn't in the mood to see a movie like that at that time. So when it came out on Blu-ray, I picked it up and never watched it. And I don't know why, I just put it off and put it off and put it off. And I saw this out on 4K. And for the first time ever, I actually gave a movie to a friend, sold it actually, and picked up this version. And I have to say, more than any other movie I own, this is the most astounding movie I've ever watched, ever. It's hard for me to kind of sum it up, but this movie looks like nothing else I've ever seen. And I think the movie is very hard to get through. It's not a fast-moving movie. It's a very slow, methodically paced film. It's very nasty. It's very brutal. It's very bloody. Is it a great film? No, I would not say it's a great film. I think it's good. I think it's a very intense experience. However, the movie itself is one of the most gorgeous movies, maybe the most gorgeous movie I've ever seen. The cinematography in this is second to none. I mean, one of the few movies I can ever say is completely, perfectly shot from beginning to end. Perfect. I mean, straight up perfect. There's not a missed note in terms of cinematography in this movie. Maybe even direction, there's not a missed note in this thing. It is just a spectacular film in terms of cinematography. The story, again, is very straightforward, very plain. I'm not going to go into the details. I enjoyed the movie. Would I ever watch it again? Probably not. This is probably going to be a one and done for me, or a one and not watch it for a very long time. I enjoyed this movie very much, but I felt like I needed to take a shower by the time it was over. It's so intense and so brutal that I didn't want to have the movie go on any longer than it was. I didn't even want to watch the documentary about how they made it. I just wanted to get it over with. And the one thing I can say about this movie is, especially if you're watching it with the HDR and the 4K, is that the movie is mind-blowingly beautiful. Even in scenes that are very graphic, the movie looks literally crispy. It looks like you're looking through a window. Your TV is a window. With my 4K TV with the HDR and everything going in full tilt, this movie is pretty much the one movie you want to put on to show off your home theater system. It's running DTS master audio, so 7.1 audio. 4K with HDR, Ultra HD. It's actually a 2-disc set, so they have the movie on regular Blu-ray as well. This has all the special features on it. But the movie itself, man, I gotta tell you, like, what a ride. By the time it was over, I had to take a nap. I was spent. But the beauty that this thing can show off, the wilderness is just, I mean, it's like nothing else I own. This and probably I'd say Da Vinci Code and Independence Day, of the movies I own, those are the three best. This being the best. This just knocked off Independence Day from the top spot. Ironically, both 20th Century Fox movies. But I gotta say, if you have a home theater system, if you can stand this movie, Independence Day is a little bit easier to get through. That's more of a disposable film. But this is the best you're gonna see, in my opinion. So far from what I've seen in 4K, this is the best I've seen. I've also been recommended to watch The Shallows, and that's probably going to be next in terms of 4K purchases. But for now, this is the tops for me, man. This is it. I'd probably, if I were to show off any movies on my TV, this is going to be it. I'd probably have to skip a couple scenes. I'd probably only show a couple scenes maybe near the middle of the movie where no one's getting killed or mauled by bears or anything. But definitely, this is the spec disc, as I like to say. This is the show-off disc, and I can't say it enough. Pick this one up if you're a 4K enthusiast. Pick this movie up. This is it. Again, I want to check out The Shallows because I've heard that's very good as well. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a quick video, talk to you about those two, and I'll keep you up to date with any other 4K movies I pick up. Until then, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner. If you like these kind of reviews, like the video, and please subscribe to my channel if you like to see more stuff like this. I try to put out stuff like this as much as I can. So until then, have a good night.